All right, preparing to live stream the meeting.
It's now streaming live on the service. Now, oh, it's okay. I think it's on. It's on, people. Let me tell the people in the chat room.
Yeah, you have to apologize for us, Andrea.
Okay.
Still
We're on now,
Don't
so
apologize.
push play on video above. Okay. Get these people to check it out. Yes, I did make you the guinea pigs. So
All right.
can you
Cool.
see it? I
Yeah.
hear. Okay, make sure that's turned off the sound. Make sure the sound is turned off.
Yeah, I'm good. Hey, can anyone in the chat room hear us? Just give me a yes.
Yes, I want to know too.
Chat room, yes. Anything.
Malpal, anybody, Kevin, Amazins, Leonard. Let me have Lenny do it. I'm going to yell, so I'm going to mute myself.
Yeah, if you click the video up there, I could see us on it.
Yeah.
If they're playing it. All right, cool.
Okay, guys, good luck with your first day. It
All
seems
right.
that we got it figured out. So welcome everybody to BK and Polly.
All right. Thank you. Actually, Andrea, it's BK and Polly Boy. Let's get this straight. Malpal.
Polly Boy.
Malpal.
I knew there was another word added onto it, and I will do that.
Boy.
Polly
Polly
Boy.
Boy. Polly the stud.
Polly Boy has a cute girlfriend. Is that your girlfriend or wife?
No, it's my girlfriend.
She's very cute, pretty.
Thank
I was
you.
spying on you today on Facebook. I was spying.
That's all right.
Okay, I'm out, boys.
Thanks, Andrew. Appreciate it.
All right, thank you.
All right, Malpal, thank you, buddy. In the mix today. All right, we're really excited. This is show uno, #1 for BK and Polly Boy. We've been talking about this. How many years,
sir.
Polly? Polly, how many years have we been talking about this?
It's been a lot. It's been a long time.
So I'm 42.
I don't know.
I'm 42. Polly Boy's 26. He's my nephew. So when I was 15, he was born. I think from the time he was 2 and I was 17, we've been talking baseball, and now it's manifested into this show, and we're super psyched.
Yeah.
Paul, you psyched or what?
Yeah, let's do it.
I mean, let's start off though. I think I would be remiss if I didn't first and foremost thank the OG Lenny Melnick and
the legend
Andrea Lamont. I mean, she was clutch in getting this going and everything. So guys, thank you so much for the opportunity.
Yeah.
This is a dream come true for me and my guy over here. So we really, really appreciate it.
Yeah, she's the best.
First things first. I don't know who's in the room. It says live chat, 10 people, 9. I'm only seeing Malpal. Again, thank you for being vocal here, Malpal. We're going back and forth with titles already. So we're like, all right, what do we like better? We're down to 2. Do you like taking cuts? Taking cuts with BK and Polly Boy? Or do you like the fantasy fam? Fantasy fam, right? With family, back and forth. So you tell me, what do you like? Taking cuts or fantasy fam? Andrea, I see you chimed in. Can you hear us loud and clear?
Yeah, she said that she wants to put the chat room next to the video.
I saw that, but I just don't anyway, let's keep going.
Yeah, we're debating between a few names.
Few names. Yeah. All right, great. She got us. So day #1, it's what, April 15th, right? First off, it's the anniversary, 7-year anniversary of the Boston Marathon bombing. First and foremost, I was living in Boston when that whole thing took place. Yeah, absolute mess. My mother broke apart when she heard that it happened because she thought I was there and I wasn't. But it's also 1947, right? Jackie Robinson.
Yes.
Debuted.
Another legend right there.
Legends, right? For the Brooklyn Dodgers.
Absolutely.
So I'm a little bit of a trivia guy, right? I love trivia, like music. Paulie likes trivia, but it's like what, 2000 on.
Yeah,
right?
not too much before my time. I can't really deal with too well.
Beautiful. All right. So I want to get some participation here. Hopefully, some of you guys are listening. Trivia, ready? So, in honor of Jackie Robinson, who was the last player? I know everyone's already thinking, oh, Mariano Rivera, easy one, the layup. Hold on a second. Who was the last player to wear number 42 for 3 teams? Last player to wear number 42 for 3 teams.
Need the
Last,
player and the 3 teams.
for bonus points, you get the 3 teams. Anybody
I
out
think
there?
Lenny the legend is in here. I have a
know, I
feeling
see
he's
him.
going to get it.
I feel like there's a little bit of a delay between when we speak and when it gets the chat room sees it.
Yeah,
but,
the video is a little behind. It's all right.
So that's the question right now. I don't want to spend too much time on this, so I'll wait for it to keep going. But I want to go a little bit into so you guys get to know Paulie and I a little bit, and feel free to throw out the answers if you think you got it. So Paulie boy, why don't
Yes,
you
sir.
share with everybody a little bit about who is Paulie boy?
Holy boy. He's just a kid from Staten Island, New York, 26 years old, sports fanatic. Baseball will always be my favorite sport of all time. Diehard Met fan. Yes, absolutely miserable. Diehard Jet fan. Absolutely miserable.
Miserable.
But yeah, absolutely miserable. But still here, still doing it, loving it. Big into fantasy and all that comes with that, and just seeing what we could do here, just talking sports and fantasy and going about it.
Paulie, tell everybody who made you a baseball fan. Who's singularly responsible?
Uncle Bob, unfortunately.
Uncle Bob.
Unfortunately, made me a Met fan. Could have been a Yankee fan. Could have been a winner.
But not so much. Blue and orange. Lenny and Andrea are Met fans. Andrea's a bit of a Red Sox fan, and Lenny was, I believe, a Dodger fan. But okay. Lenny, that's the guy. Mo Vaughn nailed it. Lenny, good job. I expect nothing less.
I knew he'd get it.
Boy, anything else about you?
Nothing really, man.
No.
Currently unemployed due to COVID-19.
You're on the furlough, they call it.
On the furlough.
You're on the furlough.
So perfect time to pick this up.
Yeah, for sure. No, Lenny, it was the last guy for 3 teams. He was number 42.
He wore 42
for 3 different teams. He was the last player. So Mo Vaughn, you're right, was the last player to wear number 42 for 3 different teams. The Mets, the Angels, and the Red Sox. He's the only guy to wear 42 for the last time for 3 different teams. Sorry if that was confusing. Paul, you understood me, right?
I got you.
Crystal clear. All right. All good. So to move on here. So, Paulie, just to go a little bit more into this. So me and you's background with baseball too. Like you said, I made you a baseball fan, so on and so forth. But some of my memories with you is I did an internship in college at Fenway Park, and my nephew, Paulie boy, came up with some of his family to come and visit, and I gave them a tour of Fenway. I remember we went to the clubhouse and everything, and then tell everybody what happened when because the Mets were in town, right?
Yeah. So I was really young. I was only 5 years old, and I was probably about 5 or 6. And it's crazy. I remember it like it was yesterday. We were waiting by like the I guess the locker rooms for the players to come out, and all that near the Mets locker room, and we're getting autographs, Jay Payton, guys like that. I'm getting Bobby Valentine's autograph. In the midst of getting Bobby Valentine's autograph, this sudden beam of light just opens up, and here comes Piazza walking down the hallway, and I was like, Bobby Valentine, who? I grabbed the baseball out of his hand that he was signing for me. I dropped it on the floor. I picked it up as fast as I could, and Piazza signed the ball for me. We got like 10 different signatures that day, but just that moment,
You
something
ripped
I'll
the
never
ball
forget
out
as
of.
a little kid.
Let's go back. You ripped the ball out of Bobby Valentine's hand.
Yeah, and I would do it again to this day
I made
if I could.
I made a beeline for Piazza.
Yeah, man. I mean, he was my. He still, still probably is my favorite players of all time, and at the time, he was, everything I looked up to. So, yeah,
You know what's funny is I
sure.
remember the look in your eyes as you were getting Piazza's signature. 'Cause you were in total awe and excitement,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
I didn't see that look in your eyes again until Omia Santos connected at Fenway Park some 15 years later or something.
Yeah,
And we were up there again.
that first replay game.
You remember that?
That was like one of the first home runs ever to be reviewed.
Reviewed, right? Hit over the
Yeah,
monster.
it's on
And
SNY all the time as a classic, Mets classic.
it was me, you, and a couple of your buddies, right?
Yep.
And Omiya went deep, and Mets won that game, and we were all in Mets gear, and they were hating on
Yeah.
us, all the Fenway
We
faithful.
actually, if you go back to that game in Boston when I was younger, around 5-6 years old, that game, I'll never forget. Carl Everett was playing for the Red Sox.
That was the headbutt game.
Yeah, he was throwing bats on the field, bucket of balls. He was going ballistic. Those are the two memories that I have from that game, and I'll never forget it.
Carl Everett, Hothead Everett.
Yeah,
that's right. All right, good job. And you know what? There was one other memory. I'm gonna make this one quick. Paulie's 21st birthday. We went to Chicago. It just so happened Notre Dame, the Cubs, and the White Sox were playing back-to-back days, and we did them all. Was it awesome or what?
Yeah, it was something else. Wrigley was actually a little bit under renovation at the time.
Yeah.
That was right around when Ryan Braun was in the middle of I think he just got back from his suspension or something like that, and the Cubs fans are really letting him have it out in the bleachers where we were.
They were giving him some heat. They were giving him some heat.
Yeah.
That was great. But really, I mean, it was a great time. But what was really the highlight? Was it not Giordano's pizza?
Oh yeah, deep dish.
The best thing ever. All right.
All
right. So that's Paulie Boy. That's me and Paulie Boy. A little bit about me is I'm married. I got a kid. On the way. I work for YMCA's in New Jersey. I lost 140 pounds some, 22 years ago. I'm a dog enthusiast. Yeah. Love dogs. I had a dog in a wheelchair for about 8 years. That's a story for another day. I had Mets season tickets from
Jackie
the time
Wheels.
Jackie Wheels was my boy. I had Mets season tickets from the time I was 8 until 24. My dad surprised me when I was 8, and we had them until I was 24 years old. I went to Northeastern University up in Boston. I did internships in college with the Atlanta Braves, the Red Sox. After I graduated, I worked for the Arizona Fall League down in Phoenix. And then I was with the Norfolk Tides for a little bit and the Brooklyn Cyclones. So big baseball background.
A lot of experience there, Bob.
A lot of experience there, boy. So, but fantasy baseball, I gotta be honest with you. I know Lenny Melnick gets heralded as the OG, and he is, because I know he predates me. But my first fantasy baseball league was in 1990.
Was it?
1990. I remember being in this kid. His name was Tom Borowski. I'm still friendly with him. Tom Borowski, who little known fact, Tom Borowski, who was a childhood friend of mine, wrote the foreword in the book Bed of Nails, Lenny Dykstra's most recent autobiography, because he got to be good friends with Lenny. Anyway, Tom Borowski's basement, we would sit down and draft players. And then Tom said he would do all the numbers, but you knew he was lying because he won every single year, right? But he did this awesome newsletter, and he would mail it to you, and he'd cut out newspaper clippings and everything. And it was the best. And I still remember the draft was the best thing ever back in 1990. Even though I lost every year because Tom Borowski is the guy who won, it was just the best experience, and that's when it started for me.
Wow.
Currently, yeah. So it was just amazing. So you probably didn't even know that, right?
But how did you keep stats and stuff like that?
Well,
manually.
We trusted Tom so much. Yeah, we used to get the stat on our advance, right? And I would try to check it, but then I would get too lazy. But he would say, "Oh, I did it," but
Right.
it just wasn't happening.
Right.
So
Right. Yeah.
other than that, I'm currently in 3 fantasy baseball leagues every year, different formats. I like to keep it mismatched like that, so that I'm trying different fields and things like that. So one of them is I'm in a dynasty league, 16-team dynasty league. It's 6 by 6, and every year when we do the draft, we draft. It's only 5 rounds, and it's minor leaguers. There's an 18-player minor league system.
Yep.
Deep. I know I've been talking to you about this for years. We
Yeah.
have we have a couple of notable members to that league as well. Anthony DeComo of New York Mets beat writer fame is in that league with us. He's a friend of mine from up in Boston, and the other guy is Amir Kamal. I ever tell you the story about Amir Kamal?
Yeah. I believe so, but yeah. Good share,
So
please.
about
Love it.
okay, so really quick story is Amir Kamal and his buddy Ryan. I'm not gonna tell you his last name yet. His buddy Ryan. No, sorry, his buddy Ryan was in Australia. Amir Kamal and his buddy Matt are going to visit Ryan in Australia. So Ryan's last name is Breslin. He's the brother of Abigail Breslin, the actress of Little Miss Sunshine fame. Do you know the movie Polly Boy?
No, I don't.
Yeah. All right. Anyway, great movie. So so Matt and Amir get the call from Ryan to say, "Hey, come out to Australia and come hang out with me while Abigail's filming a movie." So Matt and Amir hop a plane. It has a layover in San Francisco, right? So the layover happens. They got to stay overnight. They say, "Oh, look, the Giants are in town. Let's go to the Giant game." Right? On the cab ride
Yeah,
over to
why
the
not?
Giant. Yeah, right? So on the cab ride over to the Giant game, like any two buddies would do,
Mhm.
one says to the other, "Hey, listen. Oh, this is what I forgot. It's the game that Barry Bonds was sitting on 755. That's a
Oh,
big
that
fact.
game.
Yeah, he
Oh,
was sitting on 755, right? So he's tied with Hank Aaron. So like any two buddies would do, they're in the cab. They say, "All right, listen, if we catch the ball, we're going to split it 50-50. All right, yada, yada, yada. They get bleacher seats. Who knows how much they paid? Lo and behold, Bond swings. What happens? Boy, what happens?
an absolute madness. His hands go right up. He was ecstatic. There was just chaos, and it was madness. I think they were. It was like a mosh pit. Weren't they? They weren't
The,
even on their feet.
the kid almost died.
And
He literally
yeah,
almost died.
they caught the ball.
Well, if you go back to the videos, I forget what year that was, but if you go back to the videos, the kid's wearing a Gato Alfonso jersey. God bless him. He's a Met fan.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Matt caught the ball, and then him and Amir, they got the ball authenticated. They did the rounds, all the talk shows and everything, and then went to Australia, and that's the story. So anyway, Amir is in that fantasy league. All right. So great fantasy league. It's called Franklin Fantasy Baseball. Awesome, awesome league. That's League One. League Two, I promise all these leagues, they don't have stories that long. League number two, 12-team rotisserie league. It's an online auction, 5 by 5. And then the last one is actually my favorite. It's my own league, of course. It's a 12-team head-to-head league, 5 by 5. It's a live auction in my living room. Now, I've been doing live auctions for years. My buddy Tom Partridge, who hopefully, if he's not listening now, he'll listen at some point in the future, got me hooked on these live auctions. And I've been telling you, Paulie, for how long about a live auction?
We've been talking probably for about, I don't know, 5 to 6 years about it.
And I said, "Kid, you got to get in on this. It's amazing. It's absolutely amazing."
Yeah.
So last year was the first year I moved back to Staten Island from Boston, and I set up my little living room with 12 chairs, had 12 guys in here, and we drafted for 6 hours, Paulie? 6?
Yeah, it was the best. We
Yeah,
had the best time.
King Hap, auction draft, right? Like, and have you done, I'm sure you have done live auctions, right? I mean, there's nothing like the feel of the room in a live auction draft, right? With your buddies going back and forth and talking trash and all this stuff. It's absolutely, there's nothing like it. and you have to be a tiger in there, which even makes it better. Like if you sit
Yeah.
back and you're playing all core, you're gonna miss out. And I've done that
Yep.
too. But you got to be a tiger. So you had 12 wannabe tigers. You got 11 wannabe tigers and one real tiger named BK, Uncle Bob, in the room, self-promoting like crazy right now. Yes, King Hab drinks heavily. There was definitely some drinking going on. Good time all around.
Drinks and wings and pizzas,
All
all
of
that
it.
good stuff.
All of it. So yeah, I mean that's definitely the highlight. So I gotta tell you right now, as I'm sitting here doing this podcast, I'm looking in my living room. So I have 12 pieces of paper, large pieces of paper in my living room. My wife, God bless her, is the most patient woman in the world. I put all the rosters up with the 3 keepers that every team is going to have. And once they suspended the season, I told my wife, I said, I refuse to take this down. Refuse.
Right,
Paul,
because our draft was scheduled for maybe the week or two before. I think it was 2 weeks before the season was supposed to start, and
yeah.
then
I
within
mean,
a few days of our draft, we had to push our draft off, and then 2 days later, they pretty much delayed the season.
literally 2 days later, it was pretty much the worst case of blue balls of all time, right? Like Paulie and I almost fought about it.
Well, you know what it was. It was like 3 or 4 days before our draft, and MLB came out and said we're going to delay the start
Exactly.
of the season 2 weeks. They said it was just going to be 2 weeks to start out.
Right.
So we said, all right, we'll push our draft back and we'll wait it out. There was a lot of commotion. I didn't want to personally, but once the season got indefinitely postponed, then
Yeah.
this is
This is
where
where we
now.
are. So
Yeah.
anyway, let's dive a little bit into fantasy. I mean, it's what we're doing here, right? So I'm
Yeah.
looking at these rosters on my wall, and I don't want to pick on other members of the league too much. They're not here to defend themselves.
Yeah, but
I'm
we
gonna,
should
but
pick on him anyway.
I'm gonna first and foremost zero in on Paulie Boy because I'm looking
All right.
right at it, right?
Yeah, why not?
So just so you guys know, the way we do our keepers is for this year, we did 3 keepers off of last year's roster, right? And based on what you bid, it was a $3 upcharge off of the previous year. So you get 3 keepers, $3 upcharge off of the previous year. If you choose to keep the same player again the following year, it's $5. And then every year after that, subsequent, it's $10 more. Okay. So this being only the second year of the league, it was just a $3 upcharge. So right now, as I'm looking at Paulie Boy, it's a little dark in my apartment because I have a baby sleeping. But I see, let's see, who do we got?
Shout out Noah Jack.
Yeah, that's my son right there. So we have Bieber, right? We have Bieber. And how much was he, Paulie? 14? 14.
I got him last year. I got him for 11. So this year he's 14.
He's 14. Okay, no problem with that. That's good value. A lot of heavy talk about Bieber. Everyone loves Bieber this year. Oh, he's the next Cy Young Award winner. Cleveland, great pitching. Spits out Cleveland, great pitchers. Yada yada.
He's a
Great.
stud.
Okay,
He is a stud.
listen. No complaints. Okay. His second keeper, Ronald Acuna Jr. So he got him for
Easy
38
decision.
last year. So he kept him for 41. A bit high for my taste, but you can't argue it, right? Right. Like Ronald Acuna, can't argue it. Now, it's the third one that my nephew, who I think is a pretty smart guy, right? Like I'm like, all right, I've molded him. He's gonna make the right decisions. I don't want to give him the answers to the test. I just want him to put the right answer. So his choices came down to 2 guys: Luis Robert for $4 or Jack Flaherty for 17.
18.
18. Okay. For $18. And I'm thinking, man, it's a no-brainer. The kid has the chance to start the year with Bieber, Flaherty, and Acuna. You just can't do better. I mean, it's an amazing 3. The kid picks Robert. He picks a rookie. Rookies don't pan out. I mean, obviously some do, but like you roll the dice. Flaherty was the second half last year was absolutely filthy. So
he was a Cy Young second half without a doubt, but he's due for some regression to begin with, and Lou Bob, who I like to call Lou Bob,
Lou Bob. Millennials.
Luis Robert.
They got cute nicknames, millennials. Lou
That's
Bob.
my boy. That's my boy Lou Bob, and his potential is through the roof. Is just as high as Acuna's. He can in 2 years from now be that 40
Don't be
40
that
guy,
guy.
30
Don't-
guy. It was the potential. And
You know,
honestly,
you sound ridiculous saying that.
with
You can't-
Flaherty, I wasn't deciding on Flaherty and Bieber. It was either Flaherty or Bieber for me, because I was getting Lou Bob at $4 after picking him up late in the season for $1 and getting him this year for $4. Meanwhile, in a draft this year, he's normally going for anywhere from $9 to $15. So that's great value right there to begin with. And then next year, if he even puts up a 2020 season this year, next year he's going for close to $20, and
Bro,
I'll be
you can't-
getting him for $9.
This is all cute, but you can't make a comp like that. You can't say, "Oh, he's the next Acuna." I mean, he might be, but
He's
the
got the
percentage.
potential.
Great,
And then
great.
I have
Gordon Beckham had the potential to be the next Ryan Sandberg. Those things just they don't happen sometimes, but very, very, very small percentage. You just don't do it. So anyway, moral of the story is this: due to this whole COVID crisis that we're all having here, I, as the commissioner of the league, have to make a decision. And I'm gonna reach out to the listeners out here. We got eight strong on the live chat. All right. Here's the question: is that because we have this long delay, do we open up the ability for people to change their keepers to the league? Because I got one guy who kept Noah Syndergaard for $31, so I know his heart is broken. He's my cousin Lou, great guy, but I mean, Noah Syndergaard, he's done it. This guy just blew $31 on literally nothing, no return. Now, to be fair, I blew $36. I know, way too much money on Syndergaard in my online auction league because pitching was so thin. But and I'm not getting a redraft. But I don't know. What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat room. What do you think? Do I allow a redraft? No, sorry, not a redraft. Do I allow a reprotection of players based on the COVID? Does that happen? Lenny, does it happen? Andrea, King
well,
Hat?
if that does happen, then the argument about Flaherty and Luis Robert can still be fixed.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing. That's the thing that I don't want to let happen. I don't want you to make that move. I don't want it to happen. I just don't.
But but realistically, it should be opened back up. We should be able to pick our keepers. We should have a new deadline on when we're choosing our keepers.
All right. Anyway, let's segue right past this. So let's have a little bit of trivia. Let's go back to trivia for a bit. So I got a warm-up trivia question, and then I got the real deal. All right. I'm going to speak slowly, get the details out. You should be able to pound this out. Ready? Oh, Lenny says no redraft, even though more DH in National League. Just no redraft. So he's probably saying no. Don't let guys reprotect. That's what I think he's getting. But anyway, trivia. Ready? Trivia question number 1. Right? Is in the 1980s. This is a layup. This is a pretty easy one. If you know anything about baseball, 80s baseball, it's a really easy one. In the 1980s, the Oakland Athletics had back-to-back rookies of the year. Name them.
Wow. See, I didn't even know that.
Yeah. Oakland Athletics back-to-back, right? Andrea can't let him see. Andrea said can't let him give up Syndergaard. She said he's got to own it.
Well, I'm fine with that. I'm fine with that, Andrea. I'm fine with that. Let him keep Syndergaard. No new deadline, and that's it. I'm totally okay with that.
And I'm totally okay with it because that means you got to keep Luis Robert and I get Jack Flaherty because I'm in a bit highest for him, and that's how it's going to go.
But I can still go and get Jack, so it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, you're not going to outbid me. Anyway, you're so cheap. Anyway, so again, Oakland A's, back rookies of the year in the 80s. All right. I'm gonna play mental pause there for a second, and then I'm gonna go into my next question, which is the real deal question. So, Paul, you think it's pretty impressive that the A's had 3 in a row, right?
I mean, yeah, of course.
How about this?
I don't know. Lenny had an answer, but I don't know if it's true.
Well, Blue, Bando, and Rudy. That wasn't the Oakland A's back then. So it's not
Well,
right.
he's talking about Vita Blue, right?
He could have been talking about it. Or Sal Bando. Right. So
I only know
these are
Blue.
all these are all real players, but not in the 80s, not the A's in the 80s. Yeah, see,
Okay.
he's oopsing already. Lenny, I really appreciate you participating in this. So here's the next question while we're waiting for the 80s guys. Is in the 1990s. You ready for this, Paulie? The
Yeah.
Dodgers, and Paulie doesn't, me and Paulie didn't pre-practice these, so he's got no idea. In the 1990s, the Dodgers had back-to-back rookies of the year, 5 in a row.
5?
5 in a row.
No.
92, 93, 94, 95, 96.
Wow.
Amazing, right? I mean, I don't expect you guys to give them to me in order. If you do, extra bonus points. But can you throw them out there? I'm still waiting on the 80s A's.
There's one, one of the Dodgers. I think I know. Maybe.
Well, can you name any of? Okay, Andrea got one of the Dodgers because it.
Well, yes.
Probably the one you would have said.
Yes, I was gonna say Piazza, and then I have one more in mind.
All right, listen, I'm gonna make this really easy, guys. I love trivia. I'm gonna do this. I love hints, right? So 80s A is really easy. I mean, the first guy, Mr. 40-40. Who was Mr. 40-40?
It's the 40-40.
Yeah, 40 homers, 40 steals, big steroid guy. Easy. Canseco, number 1. Okay, number 2 was USC kid. Pitched in college. Believe it or not, so tall and thin in college. Rookie year hit 49 home runs. 49 as a rookie. I know everyone goes crazy about Alonso and Judge, but 49 and 87, filthy. Come on, Paul, you know this name. You know this
McGuire?
name. Yes. Number 2. Now number 3 is pretty easy too, but maybe not. Number 3 was a manager of Colorado Rockies for a bit. Yep, Taco got Canseco. There you go. He was a manager for the Rockies. He was manager somewhere else too, and it's escaping me. Shortstop. He made I remember him making a great play for the Atlanta Braves back in the day, where he was playing in on the infield during the playoffs and cut off a ball. I think they were playing the Astros and spun around and threw it home as shortstop. Filthy. Great defensive shortstop. You give up, Paulie?
I don't know. Yeah, no idea.
Anybody in the chat room? There's Walt Weiss.
Walt Weiss.
Andrea said Rafael for Cal. Andrea, you're talking about the Braves. I said this guy wasn't on the Braves, and for Cal never played for the A's. So Andrea, come on.
There's nobody I hated more than Rafael for Cal.
Of course, because he killed the Mets. But Andrea, you're killing me here. Oakland. Okay, so now second question. Dodgers back to back. 5, Paulie. You got Piazza. He's number 2 of the 5. All right. The other guy, he's on Fox Sports Net. One of Piazza's best
Pedro.
friend. No,
wasn't Pedro a rookie with the Dodgers?
he was, but he didn't win Rookie of the Year.
I thought he did.
Did not win Rookie of the Year. So this guy, he's on Fox Sports Net. Great hair. One of Piazza's best friends. Very
Karros?
underrated. Yes, good call.
Eric Karros.
My young Padawan. Very, very good job. You pulled that one right out of your ass. Really nice. So that's number 2. Number 3, he had probably one of the best arms I've ever seen in the majors. Jose Guillen of the Pirates, Vlad Guerrero, Ichiro, Jose Guillen, and then this guy had one of the best arms. Andrew said Pedro was a Red Sox. Yeah, but Andrew, he started with the Dodgers. He started with the Dodgers. You know that? He played with his brother Ramon with the Dodgers back in the 90s. Anyway, moving on. So number 3. So we got Karros, we got Piazza, and then any idea? One of my favorite.
Piazza.
One of my favorite. one of my favorite names that Chris Berman said, used to say whenever he did baseball. I'll give it to you. Ready? Raul Mondesi. So Raul
Raul
Mondesi,
Mondesi.
whose son is who?
Adalberto.
Adalberto.
I can't say it.
Well, you just did. You just nailed it. Adalberto. So
Adalberto.
and if I'm correct on here, I think Raul's in prison. I think he did some shady
Yes.
stuff.
Yeah,
right?
in like Venezuela or something like that.
Something like that.
I don't know.
Yeah, but he was a beast. So he's number 3.
He was.
Number four, he was a phenom pitcher. I'll give you hints. He's a phenom. Andrea, this guy pitched for the Red Sox. He had his best years with the Dodgers, but he pitched for the Red Sox. Paulie, he pitched for the Mets. I'm touching all my bases here.
She goes, no, I don't know. I will never accept it.
He pitched. He pitched for the Mets. He pitched for the Red Sox, but he had his best years for the Dodgers. Come on, pitcher.
Best years with the Sox.
No, best years with the Dodgers.
Best years with the Dodgers.
But threw a no-hitter with the Red Sox. I'm gonna give this to you. Had a cyclone windup. Yes, Andrea. There she goes. She nailed it.
Hideo Nomo.
Hideo Nomo. And then this last one, which makes the whole question that much more difficult. I don't even have many hints to give you, other than he probably had his best years with Colorado, but not a very well-known name. No, you're not wrong, Andrea. You're absolutely correct. 100% correct. It was Hideo Nomo. Was number 4.
Yeah.
Great job. No, with the Red Sox, he absolutely threw a no-hitter. You want to know how I know? Because I was there. I was working for the Red Sox the day he threw.
Are you?
Yeah. Absolutely true. I
know he definitely threw a no-hitter.
Yeah, he did. The 5th guy, I'm just going to give it to you because I want to keep the segment going. Todd Hollandsworth. Not a very well-known name.
Would have never got that.
Yeah. No one threw
No
a
way.
no-hitter for Dodgers versus Rockies. I didn't say that he did he? I didn't say that. He threw a no-hitter for the Red Sox. Right.
No more. No. Yeah, he's saying Nomo threw a no-hitter for Dodgers versus the Rockies.
Yeah. Oh, got it. Oh, yeah. George, where have you been, George? I've been throwing out trivia. I don't know. Did you go to the bathroom? I'm sitting here waiting for you to come on board. I was actually heartbroken. I didn't see you in the room. Now you're here. And I know, George, you friend requested Paulie Boy. Did you hit yes to George yet?
Of course.
All right, good. I want to make sure because I know you could be a little temperamental with the Facebook acceptance and all this stuff, but George is solid.
No, I also understand how your generation and above is very serious about Facebook, so I tried to act as quickly as I could.
George is now bragging that you and him are friends. So if you
Also,
guys,
he's my only friend. George, you are my only friend as well.
So when I called
wish you could be my Uncle George.
Wow. So when I called you earlier and you didn't click over, were you on the phone talking to George?
We haven't exchanged numbers yet, but I'm sure we will in the future.
I love it. All right. So let's go into this next little segment called Stardom or Just Dumb. All right. Stardom or Just Dumb. All right. That's the segment. Really bad pun. I know. So I'm looking at pitchers that in your auction league will probably go for $10 or less. And I'm going to throw 5 names out at you. And I want to get your thoughts on what you think they're going to do this year. You think they're going to be better? They're going to be worse? They're going to suck? Are they going to be dumb? Are they destined to stardom? Let me know. All right. The first one I know I'm pulling Andrea's heartstrings here. The first guy is Kevin Gausman. Kevin Gausman. Little change of scenery here.
She's a Gausman guy?
Oh, she loves Kevin Gausman. I mean, I've only been tuning in for a couple of weeks to Lenny's and Andrea's little network here. And like right out of the gate, she was all over Gausman. Yeah, see, she's right there. She goes, it's a double woo, Paul. You see that?
Yeah, woo woo.
Woo woo. 2 of them.
Woo-woo.
So she loves Gausman. I actually like him. So what are your thoughts?
He had a good year or two with the Orioles. He definitely flashed.
I gotta be honest with you, I don't recall. He might have flashed something. I don't recall.
Okay, so well, I mean, it's tough to have good seasons with them, but he flashed some potential. Didn't the Braves take a chance on him too?
Yeah. He had
the Braves took a chance on him, and with San Fran, I mean, he had a chance to shine for sure. Who do they have over there besides Samaja?
Yeah.
and a couple of other guys, young guys. But
Yep.
he's definitely got a chance to produce for sure. He's in
And
a good spot.
and what's his name? Former Philly manager who's now over there, Gabe Kapler.
Kapler.
Gabe Kapler said that the one guy he's most impressed with in camp is Gaussman. He said he's got a little
Really?
extra something going on this year. Yeah. And I got to be honest with you. As I'm saying these words to you, they come out bitter because I know I still have a draft with you coming up, and all these guys that are like in my back pocket. I know you're gonna like turn the knife a little bit whenever
yeah.
I start betting for someone.
Well, I'm
right?
sure it'll go both ways, so
Yeah.
it'll work
George is
itself
right.
out.
See, here's the thing though. Like George says here, he has a little value in National League only, but in our mixed league that we do, I mean, he'll probably someone will take a flyer on him and go for $1 or what have you.
Right. He would go for $1 in our league.
But George, this is what's going to happen. I'm going to have just enough money for enough roster spots. I'm going to have 5 roster spots left and $5, and it's going to be the end of the draft. I'm going to say Gaussman, and my nephew's going to have $1 extra, and he's going to say $2.
$2.
And I'm going to give him a look, and I'm going to go over. I'm going to smack him.
You know who I did that with last year?
Who's that?
Meadows. Austin
No,
Meadows.
That was a pick
Went
last
for
year.
$1.
Oh.
I think it was at the buzzer, and I said $2, and I stole him, and that was a great feeling. So yeah, I mean, it could definitely happen again.
And then, did you keep Meadows or you traded him in one of the blockbusters?
I traded him in one of my big trades. I traded him to Libretti.
So we'll talk about how that league turned out because it was really just a free fall between me and Paulie Boy. Paulie Boy had the literally best offensive baseball team of all time. Literally, he put together just because there was no salary cap and it was madhouse. But for the record, he didn't make the championship game.
Nope, I did not.
The best, the bet. Next episode, guys. Next time we're doing this, I'm going to tell you what Poy's offense was, and you're not even going to take it. Anyway,
enough about me blowing it. Enough about me blowing it. Back to stardom and dumb.
Who won that league, by the way?
I don't know. I still don't know to this day. Oh,
BK Uncle Bob. All right, next guy.
You mean Bob?
Next guy, Dylan Bundy.
Ooh, Dylan Bundy. Another guy who left, who's now left that situation in Baltimore. He was there for too long to begin with.
Yeah.
He was this stud prospect.
Yeah.
And now has a really good chance to shine under our old very own Mickey Callaway and Joe Madden in Anaheim. And he could definitely turn around. He's in a good spot. I'm sure he's got a rotation spot for sure out there. They don't have too many arms.
See, him and Gaussman kind of remind me of each other. They're decent K guys, right? Like they've always had good stuff. I'm a little higher on Gaussman than I am on Bundy. Maybe it's because Gaussman's in the National League. Maybe it's because Gaussman's on a worse team, so you get more of a crack at it.
Plays in more of a pitcher's ballpark.
Yes. My question for you is this though: is that Anaheim pitching staff? Who's the ace of that staff? I mean, Ohtani. I know Lenny's really big. He barely thinks Ohtani's going to pitch this year. Him and Andrea had it out on Sunday. Because Lenny thought that Ohtani wasn't going to pitch at all. Andrew's like, of course he's going to pitch a little bit. He's like a year and a half removed from Tommy John. He thinks he might be an opener, so on and so forth. Anyway, the question.
Yeah, they were saying he may be every 6 days.
Yeah, whatever. Like so my question is, who's going to be the anchor of that staff? Is it going to be Bundy? Heaney?
No, I think it's going to be Heaney.
I
think it's going to be Heaney. Somebody's going to have to step up for them, but I think it'll be Heaney. Just off of a hunch, I think he's another guy who's had a lot of hype. Who the Angels have really, not that they put a lot on him, but they've expected a lot at some point, and I'm sure that this is going to be a make or break year for him.
Yeah.
So
Mal Pell says Heaney. Andrea does not like Ohtani. She doesn't like the Japanese press all over the place. Makes her feel claustrophobic.
He's filthy. He is filthy, though, honestly. So if they don't have him pitch, I think it's only because they're scared of another injury or he may still be a little bit banged up. But when he's on the mound and he's healthy, he is filthy.
I'm not a big Ohtani guy either. I got to be honest with you. I think it's just too much. He's too much hype, and he hasn't really. And I think what pissed me off most of all, and you know, Paulie, I'm not a Yankee fan, right? But I think Andujar got robbed from the Rookie of the Year from Otani because of all that hype. I think Andujar had the better year,
Yeah,
but
I mean,
Otani was just all hype.
well, Otani was the first guy to hit as many home runs and pitch as well. I mean, he pitched pretty well, and to pitch like that and hit bombs at the same
Yeah,
time.
yeah,
I
we all know
mean,
the story.
yeah, well, that's what I'm saying. So for something like that to happen, and personally, I'm happy. I'm happy Andujar got robbed.
What'd you say?
I said I'm happy that Andujar didn't get it.
Yeah, I know, I get it. Only because you're just a angry Yankee hater. But
Yeah,
Malpal says they won't have press in Arizona this year. That's fair.
that's fair.
Everybody's playing without fans, without press, all that stuff. All right, next pitcher. Here we go. Marcus Stroman.
Stroman in a contract, yeah.
In a contract.
Another guy in a contract, yeah. And well-known, extremely hard worker.
Mhm.
Constantly trying to ace his craft. Although not much of a strikeout pitcher, power arm, he's got that finesse, and I'll take that as Well, he was the number 3 on the team on the Mets. Now he's the number 2. So yeah, he's gonna have to step up. But he's had that pressure on him before by being the ace in Toronto. So I hope that he'll have a good season. I think he will. Especially in the contract year, he wants to get paid. So
yeah. I gotta be honest with you. I'm not a big Stroman guy. I wasn't a big Stroman guy in Toronto. I'm not a big Stroman guy. As much as I want to be, I'm just not a Stroman guy. I just maybe it's the K's. I don't feel like it translates. I think all these guys that are on Instagram and Twitter too much, they just annoy me. And yeah, he's just not a lot of K's. He'll get his like 3.90 ERA.
But he's good for 6 innings, and he'll fight.
Sure, but from a fantasy standpoint, he's very middle of the road, right? He's not gonna.
Right.
He's a filler. He's a filler
Right.
for you. Yeah, but Andrea wants to know where Matt Harvey is. See, she's just mean. See, I didn't know Andrea was mean.
Matt Harvey's on a mound. He's on a mound somewhere throwing a cool 80 to 85 fastball.
That's awesome. All right, 2 more quick. Robbie Ray. Lenny Melnick is a big Robbie Ray guy this year.
As are you. I don't know if you are this year. I know you were.
Yeah, I mean, a guy that strikes out that many guys, you can't not like to some degree. What sucks is that his control. Now in 2017, he had like a 1.15 whip. So it's there. Like the control is there, but in the last few years, he's just kind of lost it. He's got like a 1.3, 1.4 whip. It's a little crazy. But his Ks are always there. And Arizona's
Ks are always there. Yeah.
Go ahead.
Plays for a good team. Well, who I think will be a decent team this year. He's got a little bit of pressure taken off of him by Mad Bum coming in there now.
For sure.
But he's also pitching in a very hitter-friendly ballpark. So between the walks and the hits and everything like that, if it's a trade-off with the strikeouts, but with the strikeouts and maybe the wins, but he's a guy who can make or break you for sure.
George just nailed it because I was a Robbie Ray owner last year in a couple leagues. He's polarizing to own in fantasy. He really is.
Yeah,
but
absolutely.
But like you said, he's a poor man's Eduardo Rodriguez. He is. Yeah. I actually like Eddie. I like Eddie Rodriguez too. But I think the key, not to get too much off topic here, but you were dead on about Madison Bumgarner and taking some of the pressure off him. The other guy who's not on this list, so I'm just throwing his name out there because I think it's relevant, is Zach Gallen. I really like Zach Gallen. I know Andrew's going to jump on Zach Gallen too because she likes him. But Zach Gallen, I think, has a lot of upside. I think they stole him from Florida.
Yeah,
from Miami.
I was so surprised when he got traded.
Yeah,
I was so surprised.
Yeah,
he was a guy I thought that they would like to have in their rotation for a while.
Hey,
and he went to Arizona and had a great second half.
Paulie, what do you think about George saying that Robbie Ray is the pitching version of Jay Bruce?
He's the fishing version. Yeah,
That's awesome. I
I
love
like
it.
that. I like that a lot.
All right, so
That's a fair statement.
my last pitcher, which I'm totally going to negate what I said about Stroman based on this guy, is Zach Plesac. What's your thoughts on Zach Plesac?
I think he's got some electric stuff, to be honest. And you know how they produce pitches out there in Cleveland, and he had a pretty dynamite rookie season for a guy who was, for the most part, unknown going into the
Yeah.
season last year. And he was pretty dynamite. I thought he was pretty good, and I think he could be a solid, middle of the rotation guy in Cleveland, especially this year. And who knows? Who knows? He could wind up turning into a Bieber Clevenger before you know it. So who knows?
I mean, he doesn't strike out guys. So his strikeout numbers were very meh, like middle of the road, but ground ball guy, he hit his spots. His uncle's Dan Plesac, so you got to like him just for that, right? To some degree.
Yeah, but I love Plesac.
MLB Network staple. I mean, is there a more likable guy on the planet than Dan Plesac doing MLB? I mean, between him and Sean Casey, I want to get into a group hug. Like it's
and Mark DeRosa,
yeah, DeRosa too.
Cool.
Yeah, DeRosa too. You know who you could throw in that hug too, who I am now happily Instagram friends with, is Kelly Nash.
Yes.
I know how you feel about Kelly Nash.
She could come in for the group hug.
She can give you a hug, right, Paulie, any day.
Yeah. I'll let her hug me.
Beautiful. All right.
Yeah, no problem.
So Paulie, what'd you think of our first stardom or just dumb?
Well, to be honest, I think that most of those guys I have no problem taking a flyer on. You know what I mean? So
at the end of the day, I'm gonna go Gausman stardom, Bundy dumb, Stroman dumb, Ray stardom, Plesac stardom. So I got a 3-2 split.
I wouldn't want Gausman. I would take a flyer on Bundy.
All right, so you're flip-flop with me.
I would probably say dumb for Stroman just because he's going to cost you more than he probably should just because of a name.
For sure.
Robbie Ray I'll take, and Plesac I'll definitely take.
All right. No, George, not a 7-10 split. We're not bowling yet. Not yet. The night is young, though. And Andrea, for the record, it's just about to be 9:30. But because of technical difficulties, we didn't start till about 8:40. So do I get 10 more minutes? I don't know. I don't know if this is a timing thing. It's our first go at it. We're rookies here. I'd like a little bit more time. Let's see. Hey, room, do you think we should get a little bit more time? How are we doing for our first time out? We hanging in?
I hope so.
Who's Earl Anthony? I hope he's not our replacement. Stay on as long as you want. All right, guys, we're here till midnight. No, I'm just kidding.
We're here forever.
All right, so Paulie, you got a little segment for us quick?
Yeah, it's gonna be a little rapid fire. Yeah.
I like to call it Paulie Boy's player pendulum. He said to me earlier, he said, "What the hell's a pendulum?" You guys know what a pendulum is, right? The back and the forth,
Yeah, it was way before my time.
So how's this work, Paulie? Tell me how your pendulum works.
So I'm just gonna throw out some names to you, and you're gonna tell me which way you're leaning on them.
As in, am I buying or selling kind of thing?
Yeah. For this season, season coming up. Let's say it was a 162 game season.
Yeah. Okay. Yep. Got it. Go. Hit me.
We're gonna start with Joey Gallo. How you feeling about him? Let's say this season started at the end of March.
All right. Well, first off, yeah, I hear you. Let's start this way. If memory serves right, I believe Gallo used to qualify for 2 positions in most fantasy leagues. I believe.
I think he used to qualify for 3, to be honest.
Maybe.
First,
but I think
third, and outfield.
You could very well be right. But I think this year he's only qualifying for outfield, right?
Okay.
So I think that lessens it a little bit. Plus, last year when he got hurt, wasn't he hitting like 275 or something, which is totally ungallo. Like Gallo's a 230, 240 guy.
Yeah.
So I think he was hitting a little bit out of his cleats last year. You could bank on 40 home runs for him. You could bank on, especially Texas is a little bit improved. You could bank on 100 RBIs. Um, but that's not like really special anymore, unfortunately. So as much as I like Gausman, as much as I like Gallo, him losing the two other position eligibility, um, probably going to return back to 230, 240. I mean,
Mhm.
what makes him different than Adam Dunn these days? Yeah, I'm selling Gallo.
Okay, but I see Malpal's comment here. Gallo is good in OBP, I think, and he is. He walks, I think, a decent amount. Obviously, also
If
has
they
a ton of
count that,
strikeouts.
if they count OBP in your league, sure, I can see that. But
Right,
yeah,
right. But does strike out a decent amount. But a guy who has just been on the up and up every year, he has not declined. I could see him hitting 280 this year, and with 280 and that power in that park, I mean, I think he's a stud.
well, sounds like you have a crush. But then again, guys, just
I
for the
do.
audience, I want you all to understand that my nephew loves Italian ball players. When we went to Chicago, I've never seen him wear anything but Mets clothes. He like he was so infatuated with Rizzo. I had to buy him a Rizzo shirt. He put it right on. The guy loves
Yeah,
Rizzo. You got to see how much this
Rizzo's my
guy
guy.
and Piazza. That's why it's his favorite guy. It's because he's an
Yeah,
Italian Met. Now you bring
it's
Alonso in
true.
the mix. Alonso is like the heir apparent to Piazza. They say Alonso's the heir apparent to Wright. No, no, not my nephew's mind. Alonso is the heir apparent to Piazza for his man crush. True or false, Paulie
Yeah.
boy?
No, true, definitely
Loves
true. But it, you know, it normally works out.
loves Italian ball players. Anyway, keep going. Hit me.
um, next up, I guess we'll stay with Texas just for this. Uh, Corey Kluber.
I'm gonna buy on
Corey
Kluber.
Kluber.
Yeah. I'm gonna buy him. I think Kluber was too nasty. The Kluber was too nasty in Cleveland. I don't know if you're gonna get Cleveland Kluber, but I think you're gonna get a really good Kluber. Um, I think he's gonna
A guy
end
who
up
has
with.
something to prove.
Yeah, I think he's gonna. I don't know if this is his walk year or next year's his walk year, but I think he's gonna have 16, 17 wins. Gonna throw in the low 3 ERA. Of
Uh,
course, health is the name of the game for him. But I think he's gonna be the anchor of that staff. And who else is over there? Mike Minor's over there, right?
Mike Minor had an awesome season last year.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, I think they're gonna be all right. What do you think?
Yeah. I think if Kluber can bounce back and he stays healthy, I don't see why he can't help anchor that staff for sure. But
Yeah.
the health and his age is against him. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
yeah, Malpal's 100% right. Lance Lynn looked like
Right.
almost a top five pitcher at one point last year. He was on a roll for a while.
Yeah,
So,
but I would sell Lance Lynn. I'm not sold on him either.
but I mean, a solid number three. If
Yeah,
if Kluber can step up and be top two with Minor, absolutely.
for sure. For sure. Solid number three. I
Um,
can't I can't debate that.
what about a guy like Paul Goldschmidt, Goldie?
I've always liked Goldie. In my 16 team fantasy league, my buddy Chris Rico, one of my good friends. He's actually getting married in later this year. Asked me to be his best man. So Chris Rico,
Really?
if you yeah, so I'm excited for him. He's a big Goldie guy. So just by default, I'm a Goldie guy, but I really like him. I mean, you can't not like what he did in Arizona. Last year, I think he had a little change of scenery issue at the beginning of the year, but then
Yep.
he completely Jose Ramirez, right? He completely turned around second half. So I'm buying Goldie. I'm saying he's not gonna be a 300 guy again. I'm saying he's gonna be a 275, 33, 100 in that St. Louis lineup.
Uh,
What do you got?
yeah. I mean, I can agree with you on that. Goldie, he'll always bring his defense for the
Yep.
most part, and so that'll keep him on the field as long as he's healthy, obviously. And I don't see him to continue like downward spiral or anything like that. I think he'll be decent. He'll give you decent numbers. You just don't want to overpay for him. You don't want to overdraft. You don't want to spend too much in an auction draft on him. You don't want to because first base is normally pretty deep. So
It's not as deep as you think. Third base is deeper.
last year
Shortstop-
was deep. Last year was deep. I think it's still pretty deep this year. But that's just me.
Think about Goldie for a second. Who gets drafted at first base higher than Goldie? I mean, Freeman, obviously.
Yeah. I would
mean,
take Rizzo over him.
But like they're in the same conversation. Him, Abreu, right? They're all like in that. But like, who's a lock higher than Goldie? A lock. Freeman.
I'm just saying, if you could get a guy like Jose Abreu, or you get a guy like Goldschmidt, but you could get Abreu, let's say even $5 cheaper. I mean, I would take Abreu.
You're right. You're probably going to pay a little bit more just because of the name and Goldie.
Just
You're
because
right.
the name and the history and everything like that. So that's why I'm saying I wouldn't go over the top of him, but if you get him at normal value, I would take a chance.
All right.
Sorry about that.
All right. You got one more for me? Let's just do one more. I don't want to take up too much time here.
Yeah, one more. Yeah. Dallas Keuchel.
Yeah, I'm selling. Yeah. I heard. I think this morning, Lenny was talking about the White Sox and how everyone's predicting them to win. I think they're going to have a gel year this year where they're going to be better than that. What would they have, like 72 wins last year? Something that I don't see them getting up to 95 wins. Like I don't think that's going to happen. It's not realistic. And Keuchel's not the answer. And you're asking too much for all your pitching staff to come together. Dylan Cease and who's the Red Sox guy? The kid they got from the Red Sox who throws actually gas. Yeah. You're just asking too much for that to turn around right away. The offense is for real. I really like Anderson. I really like Moncada. I hate Luis Robert.
Lineup is stacked.
Eloy. Yeah. I mean, Abreu. I mean, they got Grandal now. I mean, it's very pretty. It's very, very pretty. It is. But yeah, Keuchel. Nah. I mean, his heyday was in Houston. Where was he last year? Atlanta?
Yeah. See,
yeah.
I disagree with you. This is a guy who has had that pressure on him. You know what I mean? He just signed a big, decently big contract, and in Houston, he was that guy, for a while, and I think between him and Giolito, they could. I feel they're in a tough division. They got to deal with the Twins.
Yeah.
Not really a tough division, but they're going to deal with a tough team.
Yeah.
I think that Keuchel is, he's good for like 13 wins. He's going to have 3.5 or less ERA, I think.
My boy Malpal brings up a good point here. He said Keuchel's a ground ball pitcher and Tim Anderson can't field worth of crap. So you might have a problem there too.
Yeah, I get that. Because they say that about, like, it's kind of like Stroman, like with the Mets and no defense and things like that. But I guess you'll see. I like Tim Anderson personally. I think I know his bat plays, but if he's a bad defender, then he's a bad defender. But I don't think that they're I don't think that they're as bad as you're saying. That they're going to be as bad as you're saying. Like, right. I could see 90 wins, but they're going to be fighting with the Twins all year.
All right.
Yeah.
By the way, just because we were just talking about the Mets again for a second, do you think, as I was thinking about this the other day, do you think in Major League Baseball history there's ever been another team where their starting offense has 5 guys whose last name ended with an O? These are the kind of things that go through my mind over the course of a day, right? I'm driving, I'm thinking, we got Alonso, we got Cano, we got Rosario, we got Nimmo, we got Conforto. How many O's can you have? How many O's? My God.
You could have as many O's as long as you're getting those wins. That's all that matters.
Now, how much would you love if they went and got Rizzo?
I mean, yeah, but what do you do with Pete?
I know. It was a joke, boy. Come on. Follow me here, kid.
And maybe, hey, that you know what conversation that brings up
What's
quickly? Bringing the DH to the NL.
Oh, do we want to get into this right now?
No, we don't have to, but I'm saving for another day. But hey, yeah, bring the DH to the NL and go get Anthony Rizzo. Why not?
Well, the interesting thing about this conversation right now, it's very relevant because if Major League Baseball moves forward with this Grapefruit League, Cactus League thing experiment, they're saying that they would put a DH on both ends of it. So you might get your wish or your thought to come to fruition.
I would. I wish that if that was the case, then it would have been like they would have had time to prepare for it and go get another bat. But
Well, you know what? You can't even say that because even being a Met fan, I'm a little excited to see what Dom Smith would be able to do. Dom Smith playing DH full time,
Yeah.
getting full time ABs. I think because Dom Smith doesn't have anywhere to play. And then if Yoenis comes back, and again, I'm not expecting him to come back, but if and when Yoenis comes back and he's any kind of image of what he was, and you could throw him in left field and JD at third, and I don't know if they got the Who-Gots to put Cano in his $20 million contract on the bench and put McNeil at second. I mean, now you have the semblance of a legit team.
But there you go. I mean, they're a team that has that clutter in those couple of positions. They but they're not superstars, but they're guys that aren't getting the playing time that maybe they should or whatever the case may be. You bring DH in, there's so much more flexibility. There's so much more. You know what I mean? That's why I advocate for it.
So you're a fan, even without the COVID happening right now, you're a fan of the DH and the NL. Is that what you're saying to me?
Yeah. Bring it now. Bring it now.
I didn't know that you and I were on such opposite ends of the spectrum on this. See, I'm a baseball purist. I like the NL. I like the small ball. I like the strategy. Yeah, you're a millennial.
I mean that you make all these other changes to pace of play or whatever it's called and all that stuff, and now relievers have to throw to three guys no matter what, unless it's the end of an inning or whatever. Bring the DH to both sides.
Well,
it's not as crazy. You're making actually crazier rule changes than that already.
But then you're gonna rob me of Bartolo Colon hitting a home run. You're gonna rob me.
Yeah, that's a once in a million chance though. A once in a million chance.
Syndergaard, DeGrom, Bumgarner, right? Greinke, all these guys can hit. I don't know, and these guys want to hit. So I don't know.
But I mean, going back to a guy like Ohtani, he went to an AL team specifically to DH. If the DH was in the NL, Mets could have had a chance at a guy like that.
Yeah. Oh, by the way, Malpal, Franmil Reyes, I don't believe is on San Diego anymore. I think he's a Cleveland Indian. So
yeah, he is.
Yeah. So
he is in Cleveland, and he's got some big power. That guy.
Yeah. And everyone's predicting Franmil to hit 50 this year. I'm not in that camp. I don't think. I think he's a 35 home run guy. Anyway, listen. We've been on the air here for an hour, a little bit over. I don't wanna abuse first time out. I definitely will. Oh, he's making jokes. Malpal's making jokes. See, I'm not on the inside now, pal. That's the problem.
Oh, yeah. We're not there yet.
Yeah, all right. Anyway, again, I want to thank Andrea. I want to thank Lenny, right, Paulie boy?
Yeah, Lenny the legend, Andrea. Thank you guys so much for giving us this platform.
Lamont.
Andrea Lamont.
It's a very bougie name. Andrea Lamont. It really is. But let's finish up this segment quick. I want to ask you, so how are you spending right now your COVID? As a young millennial, right now you're on furlough. How are you spending your COVID right now?
Oh, man. I mean, the only way I would want to eat, sleep, and playing the show. MLB the show all day.
Video games all day long, this kid.
Video games, Call of Duty, eat, sleep, repeat.
Do you know I called my nephew either yesterday or the day before at 11 and then 3, and then 4:30, and then I called his mother and I said, "Where's Paulie boy?" And she said, "Oh, I think he's still sleeping." He went to bed at 7 p.m. 7 a.m. He was playing the show till 7 a.m. and just
Yeah,
woke up at
what
5 p.m.
what does it matter? I'm not. It's not like I'm missing out on the next day. I'm doing the same thing anyway.
Anyway, anyway,
We're all safe at home
anyway,
inside.
anyway. Well,
So
that's what you could do.
that's how I'm spending it.
Yeah. I'm spending my time again, married guy with a baby. Once the baby goes to bed, we're catching up on Mad Men. I know we're behind the times. We're trying to catch up on shows like everybody else. So we never saw Mad Men. We're enjoying it. We're in season 2. I recommend it. Really good. We're playing a lot of Scrabble.
Ooh,
Yeah, I have
Scrabble.
to tell you, we've played 4 games over the last week, and I'm 4-0. I'm totally bragging right here.
Really? I was
And I'm
gonna
not.
say I thought you were getting your ass kicked.
No, I'm definitely 4-0. And it was her idea to play because she beat her mother, and then she was like, all right, now we're gonna play. It just it didn't happen. Anyway, I'm sure it's gonna happen eventually. And my old go-to is I watch lots of SVU, right?
SVU. Okay.
You know SVU, right? Ha-
Yeah,
Have you ever
I know
got
what it is.
have you ever gotten caught into that cycle where like you start watching an episode and then they give you that little clip in the beginning of the next one, and you're like, oh damn it, I was gonna go to
Yeah,
bed,
no,
maybe
I
I'm gonna
gotta
watch
watch that
another
one.
one. Oh my
Yeah.
god, yeah, and then again and again. So SVU
Yeah, see,
is always happening.
Malpal feels me. I agree.
Who?
Sleep is definitely overrated.
Oh,
I
Malpal.
never sleep more than 12 hours a night.
We got lots of jokes here. I like it. And I'm trying so hard not to buy a video game system. So because I know it would
Yeah.
pass time, but it would take away from time from other things. And then once baseball season comes back, I mean that's what I get locked into anyway. Like I know you do also.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, I can't wait. I mean, I wish sports is still going on right now. Anything. Yeah, right now is one of the best times in sports. You know, you got
Yeah.
basketball. Basketball season is coming to an end. The playoffs are coming. Hockey playoffs would be starting up soon. Baseball would have just started. You know, NFL draft in 2 weeks, and then you got that off season still. You know, to play out.
Yeah.
Just the best time for sports, and it's just totally shut down right now. So it sucks, but this is definitely awesome to be able to do something like this in the meantime,
Yeah.
especially
For
you know,
sure.
so
For sure. So
I
again,
appreciate it.
thank you again. Thank you to the listeners for being out there. Malpal, I know Georgie's out there. I know Andrea and Lenny were in the mix a little bit. Who else did we get there? And I think King Hap was in there for a little bit, guys. Thank you everybody for being on for this
Yeah, I
inaugural
gotta get on earlier and listen to these guys.
9 a.m. Paulie. I mean, I know
Yeah.
it's gonna. I mean, if you're gonna be up till 7 a.m., why not just put the 3 more hours?
Might as well stay up and listen to the legend, right?
You might as well do it. You might as well do it.
All right.
So again, thank you everybody on behalf
Thanks, guys.
of the young Thundercat, Paulie Boy, and Uncle Bob BK here. Thank you very much. And I'm gonna ask you. I'm gonna tie this back up just from the beginning. We're trying to think of a name for the show. We're down to 2: Taking Cuts or the Fantasy Fam, FAM, Fantasy Fam. Me and Paulie are family. We're all kind of family because we like fantasy. So let me
Yep.
know what you like more. Okay, Taking Cuts or Fantasy Fam. That's it from us, guys. Have a good night.
Thanks, guys.
Later.